It's been a while. Let's do a randomly generated mug. It's time for series 3.
All right, what pattern? 0 stripes. And what color stripes? 6 orange.
Stripes. They're in there.
Took me easily an hour to rework this list. So let's go with our subject. 1 skulls to start off the series. Perfect. What kind? 5 black. What is our other subject? 8 sea life.
I probably need to reevaluate my sea life option because now I just have too many options. Okay, I've sorted them because there's just too many. Sharks and whales, octopuses, shells and corals, jellyfish. These are like, there's huge crabs in here and huge fish, and then mermaids. And we'll do it in that order, so 1 through 6.
Let's see.
Alright, 5 is the big boys. Go.
Okay, so the idea behind this one became like crazy man-eating crabs kind of situation. And then I added different sizes of the skulls to give depth and more interest around the surface of the mug, since just the crabs eating skulls wasn't going to be enough for me. And I also gave some detail to the handle with some skulls because I knew the stripes weren't going to go near it. What's funny with these stripes is I cut them apart so that I could more easily lay them down without them becoming crooked in the process. And I still managed to lay them down crooked. And yes, I am mad about it. But there's a lot of satisfying peeling of transfers on this one, and a not so satisfying peeling of the crab transfers. You're never gonna get good peeling content with things that have a lot of legs and stuff that stick out, because you're always going to tear them off. But anyway, I think this mug is pretty cool. I like the amount of depth that it has, and I really like how flashy the orange is with the black. And overall, yeah, not a bad first go this season. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 2.
What's our pattern? 8. We're going to the patchwork box with warm tones.
Decided that I keep adding things to these boxes at random. I will just choose which one I want once I have all the elements.
Our subject. 4. We're going with the animals, and we have a lot of those. I bet the skull is on the 1. Let's see what we get. 2. We're going with Arctic animals.
They are right here.
And cool tones would have been better. 9. Yes. Typewriter font.
Oh, so satisfying. Look at that. That's good stuff. Don't know how I feel about this color combination. I just want cool tones for Arctic animals, but I think I'm gonna go with the red checkerboard.
Okay, for this one, I saw the red checkerboard and I immediately pictured a dance floor, and I knew that I had penguins that were making funny poses that could theoretically look maybe like they're dancing. And so I put the penguins on the red checker dance floor, and I started adding some like laser lights, like they're in a little disco club. And at about this point, Daryl came back into the office from doing our actual job, and I showed him what I was working on, and we talked about it, and he's like, it would be funny if they had little glow sticks like they're at a rave. And so obviously I needed to add the glow sticks. I even gave them they're so cute. I even gave them little like glow stick necklaces. Do people still use do people that like party and stuff and, you know, socialize, are glow sticks still a thing that people use? Let me know. I am particularly proud of the pun that I came up with this time. but it was about halfway through the word night that I realized that I might not have left space for all of the words, but thankfully, they all fit perfectly. Randomly generated mugs, day 3.
What is our pattern? 7, animal print. What kind of animal print? Took me a second to figure out which one was the 8. 7 again, black scales. What is going with our scales? 3. Snakes are fitting. But what kind of snakes? We have 4 options. Excuse you. 3, the black ones. And what's gonna go with our snake? Witchy, but what from the witchy section? Ooh, these are new.
So for this one, the thought process was like a witch who's familiar, or the animal that calls to them essentially is a snake. And I tried to, it felt very, here's an object, here's an object, here's an object with a scale background. And I guess that's what it is, but I like how I integrated the snakes themselves into them, being inside of the crystal ball as well as inside of the eye itself. I thought that was pretty cool. And it did make for some satisfying peeling sections, which you get to see here. People have asked me before what this little tool is. It's just got a small like rubber tip on it that allows me to more fine detail kind of press on the transfers so that they lay down properly. But look at how cool that snake eye is. That's awesome. But also this right here. Crisp, delicious, love it, yes. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Oh yeah, I added details to the handle too because it felt naked and it needed a little something, so I pulled some more elements from the witchy sheet and added those to the handles. I would have done a snake, but I didn't have one that would fit on the handle properly and it would bother me a lot, so. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I like the stark black and white. Look at that eye, that's so fun and cool. Yeah. So tell me what you think. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 4.
Alright, what's today's pattern? Oh my god, it's so cute. We're going with plaid. What kind? Oh my god. Oh, okay. We're doing pastel plaid.
Alright.
And what's our first subject? Animals. What kind of animal? 10 animal portraits. And our second subject, 15 plants. What kind of plant? Sunflowers.
Listen, I didn't mean for this to become nightmare fuel. But I feel like it did. Somewhat become nightmare fuel. I don't know why. I think it's the crazed look in that llama's eyes. I don't know, he just doesn't seem friendly, and just because you throw a pastel plaid button-up on a llama who looks like he has bad intentions, I don't think it makes him any less nightmare fuel-y. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is certainly a thing that I just made. So, there you go. I just woke up, but Here's another randomly generated mug. Day 5? Yeah.
All right, let's do this. What pattern are we gonna go with? 2 is big dots, and what color are we gonna go for? 1 is, I can find it, green. And are we gonna add circles? That would be a yes. And are they gonna be black or white? 1 is black and the dagger is white. Excuse you. White, okay. Green and white.
There we go.
How about our subject? 11, nature, but what from nature? 7, winter trees in black. And what else? 6, dinosaurs. What kind of dinosaurs? There's our types. 1, the Elon Transfers live dinosaurs.
I'm glad it's these ones because I went out and I got some spherical ones. There we go.
It's gonna be Christmas dinosaurs. I mean, I don't know what anyone would expect other than Christmas dinosaurs with this lineup. I'm sure I could have come up with a more compelling idea, but listen, I'm stubborn a lot of the time when I come up with an idea and I'm like, well, I want to make that happen. And I mean, in what other situation could I behead a dinosaur and hide it behind some trees? It's only a little traumatic, it's fine. Everyone needs a little fear in their Christmas, right? Including the dinosaurs? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm very tired today. But yeah, I took the polka dots and I added them to the handle and I made little Christmas ornaments for the Christmas trees because I thought that was an interesting way, I guess, to integrate them. The white circles just ended up being detail on the handle because I couldn't think of a place to put them that wouldn't look stupid, and I didn't need it to be any more stupid than Christmas dinosaurs, you know? You only need so much stupid in a single mug. Anyway, this is adorable. I personally am a big fan of the T-Rex. Randomly generated mugs, Series 3, Mug 6.
What's our pattern of the day? 6, small dots. What color? 4 is light blue. And our subject? 4, animals. What kind of animals? 1, forest animals. What is going with our forest animals? 13, random. So there's the bits and pieces box, which you guys are all familiar with, I assume. Random is different. Random is other full sheets that I have that I just haven't found a use for yet. So let's figure out what we're going to use. 5, sketchy frames.
That is these.
If you're ever interested in buying my work, and you realize from time to time that my prices increase, and you think to yourself, why is Claire's shit more expensive all of a sudden? You can think back to mugs like this. Because holy cow, this took forever. And I'm still not completely happy with it. So there's that. But hey, I fulfilled the brief. And if anyone is sick of me using like the stripes and polka dots just as a background and it feels like maybe it's a cop-out for my use of them, I would like to remind you that these stripes and the polka dots and things were purchased solely to be backgrounds. So technically, they are doing their job. Just throwing that one out there for you. Also, look how cute this rabbit is. Give me a second though for when he's not sitting on top of the frame, because he doesn't stay like that. I just haven't removed the frame yet. I can't figure out if these peels are more satisfying than normal ones or less satisfying than normal ones, so if you've got an opinion on that, let me know. I'm intrigued to hear it. I think I like this one. It's like a gallery. Randomly Generated Mugs Series 3, Mug 7.
What's our pattern? 8. Warm-toned patchwork box. Again. Okay. And our subject. 1. Skulls. And what kind? 5. Black. And what's going with it? 5. Another pattern. All right, let's see what other pattern we're gonna use. 9. Lace. What kind of lace though? We have options. 6. Light blue. Okay, contrast.
That's not what light blue is. Light blue is in the cool tone patchwork box, I think.
I am actually really happy with how this mug turned out. It feels vintage feeling somehow for some reason. At least to me. I could be completely wrong. But I think it's the like orange and light blue together with florals that does it for me. I really like how these designs sit on the shape of this mug. I'm really glad I decided to make different shaped mugs this time around, just for some more variety in this whole crazy endeavor. But yeah, I like this one a lot. I'm very happy with this one. I'm very glad that the lace is floral shaped, so it works out with this idea. In my opinion, of course. But at the end, you'll notice that there is some black residue on the foot on the bottom. I cleaned that up later. I just didn't do it for this video, so no worries. Those marks aren't going to be there when this is finished. But what do you think? I really love that orange and light blue contrasting against each other. I think that's fabulous. Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Mug 8.
What's our pattern of the day? 5. Stripes. What color stripes? Also 5. Green stripes. Stripes. And our subject. 17. We're going for hearts. But what kind of hearts? 2 is black candy hearts. And the last one, excuse you, 14 bugs. But what kind of bugs? I suck. I get to pick, yay!
This one had me stumped for probably an hour or so. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. I ended up going with butterflies, obviously. But I just couldn't figure out how to make these components fit together in a way that I thought would work. And then I was just complaining about it to Daryl, and then suddenly it popped into my head that I could make flowers out of the candy hearts. And while yes, it is a cohesive design that works, I hate this. This is so anti me and my personality and my personal aesthetic that it's
almost painful. But you know what? I hit the brief, I used all the things, I did it. I successfully did what I'm supposed to do with this project, and I made a cohesive design out of it. So there you go. It's horrible, but I did it. You're welcome. Haha.
Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 9.
All right, what's our pattern? 3 cool toned patchwork. What's our first subject? 19, spooky. And what from the spooky section? Where's my D6? Oh yeah, it's this crazy shape. How cool is that? 1. Ouija board. What's our second subject? 8. Sea life. What from sea life? 2. Octopodes.
So for this one, I was trying to make it look like the octopus itself was trying to communicate with someone or something using the Ouija board. I don't quite know who or what an octopus would be trying to communicate with, but you know, more power to them if they can make it happen. I did just use these polka dots from the patchwork box. I really like these polka dots because they're almost like they have a painterly quality to them. They look like they were done with a brush stroke of some sort rather than just being stark polka dots like the other ones that I use. But yeah, just used it as a nice little background detail for everything else going on. I really love the way I managed to get the planchette wrapped through the tentacle, or rather the tentacle through the planchette. I like that little detail. But yeah, a little bit kooky, a little bit spooky. Altogether, I am pretty happy with how this mug turned out. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, mug 10.
What is today's pattern? 9. Lace. What color lace? 5. Ooh, pink.
I don't think I've actually used this color. Cool.
And our subject? 15. Plants. What kind of plants? 4. Magnolias.
Those are right here. Okay.
And what is going with our magnolias? That was rude. 16. Mushrooms. But what kind of mushrooms? 2. I get to pick.
Alright, let's see. I've got these illustrated ones, I've got these cartoony ones, and I've got these more, these are also illustrative. I think I'm gonna go with these ones.
I genuinely had no idea. Didn't even remotely notice that this should have been cactus and not magnolia. I barely noticed it while I was editing this. Oh well. I mean, it's still random. But is it more random or less random now that I changed it? I guess is the question. But anyway, I wanted to take advantage of one of these curvier mugs that I had for this one. And I ended up looking up what magnolias actually look like color-wise. And I was excited to find out that they are like a pink to white fade a lot of the time. So I took the pink lace and added it to the center portion of the flowers. And then I wiped off any overlap off of the actual body of the flower. And then I faded white underglaze into the pink. The pink's definitely not going to be as bright as actual magnolia flowers are, but hopefully it still looks really nice. And it does still have the lace pattern on there. Overall, I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. I think it's sweet. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 11. Pattern of the day. 4. Plaid. What kind of plaid? Christmas plaid.
I really only call it Christmas plaid because it's red and green. So, like, that makes sense to me.
And what subject? 10. Space. But what from space? Where is space? Space? Space! Okay. 2. Astronauts.
Astronauts.
And the second one, 18. Not Halloween, which means not Halloween.
So the not Halloween box is just every other holiday except for Halloween. So I'll search through this and figure out what I want to use. Because that's how I made this.
Alright, we're doing another space-themed mug, which, you know, if you follow me at all, know that I'm putting everything in space, so it does seem only right that I put the spacemen in space. I used the plaid, and I layered it behind the astronauts, just so it'll make it look like they're wearing plaid spacesuits, because I thought that that would be funny. And from the Not Halloween box, I did stick with the Christmas theme to match the plaid, and I dug into the Christmas ornaments box that I have. But what I did is I cut off the parts of the ornaments that would hold the hooks to hold them on the tree and stuff, so that they're just round, and I decided to dot them all over the mug like they are the planets out in space. And then of course I do what I normally do and add my stars and my shooting stars. And for this one, I only stuck with white. Not only does it kind of look like snow, I just didn't want to add yellow like I normally do to kind of contrast that plaid. I wanted the plaid to be the colorful bit. But I'm quite happy with how this turned out. I think it looks cute and fun and Christmassy, I guess. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, mug 12.
Pattern of the day. 5 stripes, and stripes is on this list twice. I'm ashamed it took me this long. Anyway, what color stripes? 2, we're going for red. First subject, 19, the spooky box. Alright, what from the spooky box? 6, I get to pick. Alright, so we will pick, body parts, why not? Let's go with our body parts. 14 bugs. What kind of bugs? 3 flies.
I regret to inform anyone who doesn't like gross, relatively gory things that this mug is gross and somewhat gory. This is where my brain went. I'm not trying to make a joke about a brain being on this mug, by the way. This just... Anyway. Yeah, my mind went to, crack open a brain and a heart will fall out with, like, bloody goo. That makes sense, right? And I'm sure someone's gonna come up with some metaphor about it. I would like to point out that there is no metaphor behind it. So if you come up with some metaphor for the imagery on this mug, it is not canon. It's fan material at that point, because there is no hidden meaning behind this. I'm not that kind of artist. There's no hidden meaning behind anything that I make. I just make shit that looks cool. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I stuck some flies on it.
these all fit together fairly well. But I tell you what, laying down the stripes for that gore took at least a half an hour alone, and by the time I was done, I was really, really done. But this is so cool! I showed Daryl what it looked like when it was done, and I'm like, I think I was drawing on your personality. And he said, that checks out.
Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 13.
They're so shiny! Okay, what's our pattern? 6 small dots, and what color are we going with? I want pink. Damn it, I got green.
One of these days I'll get pink and I'll be excited about it, which is interesting because I don't even like pink.
Subject. 3 snakes, but what kind of snakes? Where's my 4? 1, we're going white snakes. And our last one. 13, random, but what from the random box? 6, 5, sketchy frames.
I have a cool idea already. At least I think it's a cool idea.
So the plan for this one was to make it so it was one long snake that was like weaving in and out through the frames, like it was going through paintings on a wall, like into different worlds kind of situation. What made it difficult is none of the snakes that I have are actually long enough to do that, so I had to cut apart 3 different snakes and piece them together at just the right spots to make it look like it was one continuous snake, which was simultaneously easier than I thought it would be and more difficult than I thought it would be. Don't really know how that works, but the peeling from this one is extra satisfying in my opinion, so you can watch that. Peeling up snake transfers always looks to me like the snake is shedding its skin, so I just think that's extra fun. I've definitely been having fun with these frame transfers that I got. I got them for a specific reason, and knew I would use them for other things eventually, and it's kind of funny that I haven't used them for the reason I bought them yet. I've used them twice for this series, but I haven't actually done like the portrait style designs that I had intended to use them for. But I love this mug. I think it's super cool. So, randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 14.
Pattern of the day. 1 honeycomb. What color honeycomb? Yellow.
Right. We have yellow and yellow.
Subject. 3 snakes. What kind of snakes? Black snakes. Okay, what's the last part? 16. And what kind of mushrooms? 1 realistic Elon transfers.
The goal with this idea was to make it look like there were snakes coming out of the honeycomb, and then the mushrooms were just essentially a background element. When I was finished putting on the snakes and the honeycomb, I realized that I kind of wish I would have left more open space for the mushrooms to go and kind of shine on their own, essentially, but, you know, hindsight is 20/20 and all that. But there are some really satisfying peels on this one, particularly with the snakes. I think this mug is pretty cool. Yeah, I like how this one turned out. Always a fan of black and yellow together, and the honeycomb in general is just a fun element to play with, and people seem to really like it, so I'm always pretty happy when it comes up on the dice rolls. But yeah, I think I managed to line up those snakes really well with the honeycomb sections. And look at that. Boop. Perfect. I think this looks really cool. I am quite happy with this one. Not bad at all, if I do say so myself. Randomly generated mugs, Series 3, mug 15.
Pattern of the day. 8, the warm toned patchwork box.
What is the warm tone patchwork box?
And subject. 20. I get to pick. All right, I will pick after I roll the next subject so I can make something cool. Next subject. 7. Food, but what kind of food? 6. 1. Ice cream.
Alright, we've got ice cream. I have decided that I will be using my octopus stuff.
Oh boy, did this one take an exceptionally long time. It takes a weirdly long time to individually cut out teeny tiny little ice cream cones and ice pops. Did you guys know that I cut all this stuff out by hand? Because I do. Appreciate my hard work, damn it. I really love this mug. I think not only is the octopus my favorite animal, but I think the octopus doing adorable things like hoarding all of the ice cream is exceptionally cute. I went with this pink, this pink background. I don't know what to call it. I zoomed in and kind of upped the contrast on this because I thought this was a satisfying little clip, so I wanted to share that. I don't know. I thought it was satisfying watching the air get pushed out from underneath the transfer. And just such a smooth pull. But I feel like this mug is a party. Like, it reminds me of like the Skull birthday party mug and the gnomes eating ice cream from the first series. And yeah, the pink should mellow out quite a bit in the final fire, but overall, I freaking love this. Randomly generated mugs, Series 3, Day 16.
Pattern of the day. Big dots. What color are our big dots going to be? Orange. And do we get circles? I need a coin. The one time I use a set without a coin. Excuse you. All right, no circles.
I struggle real hard.
And our subject. 13, the random box, and what from the random box? Gnomes.
I don't even like gnomes.
What's going with our gnomes? 9, typewriter font.
I don't know, I just feel like it's gonna be boring.
This design isn't super exciting to me. I won't lie to you and say that I was overly inspired by it or anything like that. I don't personally care for gnomes in general, but the good news about that is I don't have to like everything, and the people that do like gnomes, they really like gnomes. So like, I know this mug is gonna get a lot of love regardless of if I like it or not. And don't get me wrong, I don't dislike it. I like the mushrooms, I think they're cute. I like the orange and blue color combination that I went with. It's really loud and obnoxious and I'm here for that. But gnomes in general, on their own, they're weird and I don't care for them. But I do like that it says chillin' with my gnomies. I know several people in my life that would absolutely adore to have this mug in their collections, so that's a win, I guess. Randomly generated mugs, Series 3, mug 17.
Pattern of the day. 6 small dots. What color are our small dots going to be? I cannot see that one. White.
Small dots.
And our first subject. Ooh, 20. I get to pick. Ooh, I'm gonna roll the other stuff and then I will pick. 18. Not Halloween. So what from the Halloween box with white stripes, and I get to pick. Ooh.
Let's see what we got.
I meant to actually record the process of me choosing what I wanted to use for both of these, but it did end up taking a really long time for me to go through all of my options and actually sort through everything. I was hoping to not do yet another Christmas themed mug because I'm not a Christmassy kind of person, if you guys haven't figured this out just yet. But anyway, I ended up going with gingerbread and the like cartoon faces because once I saw those two things, it was implanted into my brain space and it was going nowhere until I actually made it happen. So this mug is really stupid. And I really, really love it. And after a certain point, and you'll know exactly when, you realize, or at least I think it's really obvious, that I have a mental break because of just how stupid this all is. But I would like to point out how a little bit off-putting it is that I've removed all their faces. I kind of want to make one of these mugs except just like leave them faceless because it's weirdly creepy. But this is about the point where I start to have a mental break because of just how dumb these are. It's just so dumb. That was a recording of me at the exact moment that I realized how dumb it was, by the way. That wasn't voiceover. That was all me at the time of making. But anyway, this is stupid and I love it. Randomly generated mugs, Series 3, mug 18.
Tiny dice. Let's go for a pattern. Where's the detail? There's the detail. 6 stripes. What kind of stripes? What color? Weird. White.
But we just did like polka dots. Feeling weird. This box.
What's going with our stripes? 11. Nature. What from the nature one? Which one is the snake? This is snake. 8. Bubbles. What color of bubbles? Black or blue? Odds are black, evens are blue. We're going with blue.
Taking a hot minute to remember where I keep my bubbles. Bubbles.
Let's go in with the bubbles. 7. Food. What kind of food? We've got a few different kinds. 5. Watermelon.
Ooh, it's in the food box. They're right there. See? They're right there.
These were printed backwards. The outlines are supposed to be on the other side, so like if you're looking at it, this is what it's going to sort of look like when it's finished. So I don't know how these are going to turn out once they're on the mug, but we're going to use them anyway.
This design is fairly straightforward, just because I've always really liked the concept of objects kind of polka dotted around a space with a stripy background. I don't know, I just feel like there's something pleasing to look at with a design like that. And with the combination of white stripes, reddish pink watermelon, and blue bubbles, this is a very red, white, and blue 4th of July summery kind of vibe. And I don't hate it. See what I mean about those watermelons though? The black stripes, like the details and stuff, should be on the top of the design now, but because of the way they were printed, the black lines are actually under the pink and the green, which could affect how they look once they've been fired. But considering this is randomly generated, I'm just gonna let them do their thing and see what comes of it. Why not? Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Mug 19.
Pattern of the day. 3 cool-toned patchwork bucks. And our subject. 1. Skulls.
And what kind of skulls?
3. White. And what's going with our skulls? 16 mushrooms, but what kind? Where are my mushrooms? Right there. Ew, I hate this style of decor. 2. I get to pick.
The problem with this is I know which ones I want to use, and they're the ones that I always use, which are these ones. But I feel like I should use something different. So use these ones. Mix it up.
I really like how this mug came out. I have been just itching to use this green, like, plant diamond pattern thing that I have. I think it's a genuinely beautiful pattern to use, and I've just been waiting for it to get rolled and then it be paired with something that is gonna look good. And I think this looks so good. I also really like that this mug was so simple for me to put on that we get some just real-time speed peeling video, and it's just really satisfying to watch. I do actually really like these mushrooms. I think I went so long without giving them much attention that now that I've come back around to using them again, I think they're really cute. I think they're a very sweet little illustration, and I'm definitely gonna try to incorporate them into more things because sometimes simplicity is just really nice, and I feel like this mug, while complex, is also just nice and simple, you know? And it makes me very happy. Very good. Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Day 20.
Today's pattern. 7 animal print, but what color animal print? 2 white scales.
Right, in there somewhere.
And our subject. 8 sea life. That's fitting. But what kind of sea life? 3 shells and corals.
This seems fitting, don't you think? Shells and corals are in here.
There's our other subject. 19, the spooky box. But what from the spooky box? 2 apothecary labels.
I already know what I'm going to do. That is only, however, if I have the right apothecary label left. So, we'll see.
If the universe hands you all of the elements for a kick-ass mermaid design, it seems rude to the fates to not make a kick-ass mermaid design. So that's what I did. And I am very happy with how this mug came out. I was worried what I was gonna do had I not had the Mermaid Tears apothecary labels still, but luckily I did have 2 left, so I was able to make a mug for both right-handed people and left-handed people. That's an interesting conversation about what makes our mugs right-handed or left-handed. Like, where does the design need to be in relation to the handle for it to be right-handed or left-handed? I have a philosophy on that, and that is that if it's going to be a mug for a right-handed person, the main element, like the key element of the design, will be to the right of the handle, so that when the person is using the mug, the design is facing out to show it off to whoever's in the room. Other people would say that the design needs to be to the left of the handle so that it's facing the person using it. I don't know, I've just never agreed with that. But anyway, this is an ambidextrous design. Cool. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 21. Let's do a pattern. 1, honeycomb. But what color of honeycomb? We have 3 choices. 2, we're going with yellow.
Oh my god.
On that struggly note, let's get a subject. Ooh, I get to pick. Let's see what else we're gonna roll, and then I will pick. 4 animals. What kind of animals? 12. 12 chickens.
Do you mind if I cut the heads off a bunch of chickens? Maybe. You don't know. Does it kind of feel like a cop-out to just use flowers? Yes. Am I going to just use flowers anyway? Also yes. Deal with it.
Listen, if I'm given honeycomb as one of my options and I get to choose the second one, I'm always going to be choosing flowers to go with it. It's just the way it is. You'll understand this later.
Chicken heads.
Anywho, this mug is pretty straightforward, except for the chickens, which I decided that these are bee-sized chickens that have either cohabitated or completely taken over a beehive colony. That's where they live now. They love all the little places that they can sit and roost. They love poking their heads out of the honeycomb. This just makes me think of chickens, but like portaling chickens. So there's no chicken, and then all of a sudden you turn around and a chicken's just like sticks its head right out of a portal next to you. And I don't know about you, but I would find that terrifying because birds scare me a little bit. I think the reason birds scare me is just the fact that I have a bunch of shiny metal embedded in my face and head, and birds tend to like go for shiny things, and so I am immediately on edge if there's a bird around me. I would be particularly on edge if one of them portaled into the same room with me, so. This mug is my own personal nightmare, apparently, but I think it's hilarious, and I love it, so. Hope you like it too. Bunch of weirdos. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 22.
Pattern of the day. 4 plaid. What kind of plaid? 6. 2, we're going with red.
This means I've used every plaid this series.
And our subject, 15, plants. What kind of plants? 6 is yellow daisies.
So far, I'm not mad at that color combination, but we'll see.
And what's our other subject? 19, spooky. But what spooky thing. 2 is apothecary labels.
I don't know about this one, guys. We'll see. We will see.
I won't lie to you, when I started working on this design, I wasn't super duper feeling it, but I wanted to get it made. I was kind of in a little bit of an off creative mood that day, but now that I've come back and I'm editing the footage, I really love how this mug looks. I love the red and yellow with the black. I think the color combination in general is great, and I like that it's not the stereotypical witch mug. Like, it's not spooky necessarily. It feels very much more like cottagecore, kind of like nature witch, instead of like the stereotypical ooky spooky witch. So I think this is really pretty. I like this. I like this a lot, particularly that daisy in front. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 23 already. Alright, today's pattern. 9 lace, but what color lace do we want? 4, we are going with green.
Okay, I don't have used the green yet. It's in there.
Our subject. 2, the bits and pieces box.
Right here.
And what else? 12, witchy, but which one of the witchy ones? Black alchemy.
Alright, we are coming in again already with a nature witch kind of mug. I only went with the moths from the alchemy box just because the other designs that come with the alchemy sheets, the symbols on them were just going to be too busy with the green lace that I had going here. Even though I do think that this design still came out a little busy, I just feel like at least I avoided more clutter, essentially. The bits and pieces box gave me these flowers and ferns, which I thought was a nice addition with the naturey feels paired with this green lace. It just felt nice to me. I put the lace on the top, moving down the shape of the mug this time, just because with the curves at the bottom of this mug, I just feel like it would flow better that way than if I had put them on the bottom going up. And I wanted that little bit of negative space on the bottom just to add the tiniest touch of breathing room, you know? But ultimately, I do think this mug came out really pretty, if not a little bit busy and cluttered, but still quite pretty. I really like those flowers with these moths. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 24. Pattern of the day. 2 big dots, but what color are the big dots going to be? 5, I get to pick. Alright, I will pick. I have all my other crap figured out. But do the big dots get circles? No. And our subject? 19, spooky. Just did spooky. Anyway, what do we do? 5, body parts. And what's gonna go with the body parts? 13, the random box, but what from the random box? 2. Okay. This mug is utterly unhinged, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even remotely sorry about it. This is stupid. This is crazy. The colors are obnoxious, and I'm loving every single minute of it. Because I very rarely get to pick the colors of polka dots, I decided that I'm allowed to pick more than one if it says I get to pick. And because my idea for this is just the most stupid, clowny nonsense, I chose the brightest clowny colors. Plus they're colors that I love together, so I do what I want, honestly. But solid skull peeling going on here. It's fantastic. And then I proceed to erase the eye sockets on all of the skulls and give them the stupidest cartoon eyeballs. This is unhinged. This is weirder than a lot of the things that I've done. I really love putting these cartoon faces onto things that cartoon faces have no business being on. My favorite is the one looking sideways. And that one. That one's good too. Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Day 25.
Pattern of the day. 5. We're going with stripes, and what color stripes are we going with? 2 red stripes.
Ow! Oh, man, that was brutal.
And what's our subject? 7. We're going for food, but what from the food section? 1 ice cream.
It's in here.
And what's going to go with our ice cream and our stripes? 2, the bits and pieces box. Oh, I've got a plan.
Wow, they're already just sitting right on the box. Perfect.
Oh yeah. I am very happy with how this one turned out. The Bigfoot as well as the camping stuff were all in the bits and pieces box, and the trees were also in the bits and pieces box. When I got this idea for this one, it was the camping equipment and the Bigfoot that I was like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. And finding the trees in the box as well was definitely a happy bonus surprise for me, especially since the red on the Cardinals goes so well with the red stripes that I decided to use on the tent. And obviously, if you hadn't noticed, the Bigfoot is carrying an ice cream cone. That's how I integrated that one into the design. Not something over the top, but definitely something fantastic and absolutely perfect to go with a lot of people's favorite cryptid. He's not my favorite cryptid, by the way. I'm a Mothman bitch. It is what it is. But let me know what your favorite cryptid is, because I'm curious to know for sure. I added a little detail to the fire just because, I felt like it needed some orange and yellow. I don't know. A little splash of color. Plus, you can't have flames and just leave them black, you know? And this way it kind of spread out all of the color evenly across the design. But yeah, this is great. Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Day 26.
What is our pattern today? 3, the patchwork box, but cool tones.
If I could stop hitting my thumb on that every time I opened it, that would be cool.
And our subject? 5, another pattern. Okie dokie. Get this back out here. And be completely unable to figure out what a D10 looks like. 5, stripes, but what color stripes? 4 is white.
I have good feelings. I have good feelings. This could be really good.
Okay, what's our other subject? 2, the bits and pieces box. Alright,
of something particularly beautiful today, I'm just also not saying that that's not gonna happen, you know?
This design took an exceptionally long time. Just painting underglaze onto each of these transfers took me like 25 minutes, and that's not including drying time. That's just the physical painting of it that I had on film. This one tried my patience, I think, quite a bit. But anyway, I pulled these cupcakes out of the bits and pieces box, and I definitely wanted to add color, and I'm glad I did. But in my experience, adding underglaze to underglaze transfers and getting them to do a really nice clean transfer is definitely more difficult. But ultimately, I'm not mad about the fact that they didn't transfer super duper clean. The stripes had some missing patches, and all of the cupcakes ended up having some missing patches too. But I feel like it ended up giving the overall design kind of a like antique-y, weathered kind of look. Like these were all like retro mugs, and over the years, paint has chipped off kind of situation. I did end up using the green sprinkle shapes from the cool toned patchwork box. Yeah, just as sprinkles for the cupcakes. A nice little colorful detail on top of all of the rest of the color. So I actually like this. I'm not mad. Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Day 27.
What's our pattern? 7. Animal print, but what kind of animal print? 1. Pink leopard print. And our subject. 13. Random, but what from the random section? 4. Yarn. Okay.
I have not used these yet, so we'll see how it goes.
Let's see. 6. We are going with white clouds.
I don't know, this one might feel a little bit pieced together, but I'll make it work.
Okay, thought process for this one was like an ideal dreamscape kind of situation for anyone who does crochet or knitting or anything like that. Like a soft pastel pink sky with fluffy clouds, and as far as you can see, there's just all of the necessary things for creating something fantastic out of yarn and stuff. I think I managed to make these things work together in my favor. I genuinely like this design, and I don't do anything with Fiberworks. As far as I'm concerned, fiber artists are magicians, and you really can't convince me otherwise. What you guys do is magic to me. It's crazy. I deeply appreciate the hard work that goes into all of the things, all of the super cool things that you can make with just hooks or needles and essentially string. But like nice string, you know what I mean? I like this a lot. I think it's whimsical and it's cute, and I have a hunch the fiber artists on here might really like this. If you're a fiber artist and you see this and you like it, let me know, because I hope you do. The pastel pink of that leopard print really does mellow out quite a bit, so they won't be so loud and in your face. Randomly Generated Mugs, Series 3, Day 28.
All right, what's today's pattern? 6. We're going with small dots. And what color are our small dots? 5. We're going for red.
I don't think we've used red ones yet. Let's go.
And our subject. 3 snakes. What kind of snakes are we doing? 2. I get to pick. All right, let's roll our last element and then I will pick which kind of snake. 11, we're going for nature. What from the nature category? 5, suns and moons. We're going for magical snakes.
Alright, there are magical snakes out here. Where are my suns and moons? They're at the bottom of the stack. Alright, I got the box. This one.
So for this one, I was really happy to find out that I did have a number of these mostly solid black snakes with moons on their head. A good smattering of them in like different shapes. So I got some variety on there. And I liked the kind of vibe that they were really connected to the moon somehow, whether it be worshiping it or whatever. And then I decided to use the red polka dots as like essentially like the center point of some star-like shapes. I don't know, it felt like it had a mystical, magical vibe to it somehow, I suppose. I did have another snake set out to use, but it just didn't match the rest of them. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 29.
Pattern of the day. 3, the cool toned patchwork box.
I'm really mad that I have to repeat the patchwork boxes so many times in the series because, like, I love them.
And our subject. 9, typewriter font.
Cool.
What else? 10, space. But what from space? 1, UFOs.
Oh, just got these back. There?
We can't come to the near end of series 3 without having more space stuff, right? Although I guess we did just have space snakes. They were celestial snakes. That's different. But anyway, I pulled this wavy kind of green pattern out of the patchwork box, and I decided to just add it to the details of the spaceships. Lights and the beams coming out of some of the spaceships, just, you know, this and that to add a little something without just making the green something super obnoxious. This handle is my favorite part of this whole mug. I love this handle. It makes me so happy. I think it's just fun. It's just fun, you know? Anyway, I added the T for the text before I realized that I needed to do all of the stars first, just because any of the text that ends up on the mug, I like them, if they're gonna land on or near a star, I like them to be on top of the star rather than behind it. It's just a me thing. But I didn't go with any sort of pun or anything this time. I went with more of a sentiment, you know. If there are aliens out there, take me with you. At least that's some people's sentiment when it comes to aliens. I don't think I want to be taken by aliens, to be completely honest with you. I don't know if that could go terribly or wonderfully, you know? And I don't think I want to risk it. I just want to keep making mugs, you know? I love this mug. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, day 30. There's only one more after this one. What are you guys gonna do?
This is our pattern of the day. 10, I get to pick. All right, I will pick once I roll everything else. All right, subject then. 16. Mushrooms. What kind of mushrooms? 3, cartoon mushrooms.
I only recently decided that I in fact love these particular mushrooms, so I'm glad I get to use them again.
For other subject. 19, spooky. What from the spooky box? 6, I get to pick that too. So much of me picking things.
Fair fair, you already did skulls and mushrooms, specifically these skulls and these mushrooms. But you know what? I have an idea, so I don't care what you have to say. Obviously, I'm picking orange. Halloween. Woo!
I know that in that last clip I showed orange big polka dots, but I did end up switching to stripes just because for this style of design with little images dotted around the mugs, I prefer stripes to polka dots. Just personal preference, and since I'm the one making these, my personal preference is the only one I care about. But I decided I wanted to make little mushroom wizard skulls, so the mushroom caps became hats for each of the little skulls, and yeah, they just remind me of little spooky wizard skull dudes. I don't know. Very Halloween-y though, with the black and the white and the orange. Very spooky season, which works out well because spooky season is very much my jam all year. But particularly this time of year when we're getting into fall and Halloween's coming up, and I am just revived in terms of energy by making all the spooky stuff all the time. So I like this. I think it's cute. I think it worked out really well. What do you think? Simple, you know? And completely different from the last white skulls and these mushrooms designs, so you can't even complain about it. Randomly generated mugs, series 3, mug 31. It's the last mug of the series.
What is our last pattern going to be? 9. We're going with lace, and what color? 5. Pink.
I'm getting excited over pink lately. I'm just growing out of my I hate pink phase.
And a subject. 18. Not Halloween. And what else? 4. Animals. What kind of animals? 4. Dogs.
The dog box doesn't get that much attention, so I'm excited to see what happens here. Oh, look at him. He's so cute.
This mug is definitely for the dog lovers out there. I chose 2 dogs of similar size, just so that they would make sense next to each other on the mug. At least I think they're similar size. I don't know. I don't have a dog. I don't have any pets. But I gave them one a little sweater and one a little bow, and I pulled from many of the boxes in the Not Halloween section. There's Easter in there, and Christmas, and St. Patrick's Day. I figured I would make these 2 dogs look like they are ridiculously spoiled. They've got their little outfits, they've got piles and piles of toys. They definitely have an owner that loves to give them presents, when any holiday comes around, really. But I thought it was pretty cute. I'm not really sure how I even want to go about glazing this one, but we'll see. If you have any thoughts on what I might do for glazing, let me know. Chances are I won't heed anyone's ideas. I will go with whatever I feel like it in the end, but like, what do you think? What do you think? Series 3 was posted in November of 2022. It is now June of 2025, and apparently I never posted a final video of all of these, so here's all of the photos of them for you to take a look at of all the finished products. And I guess I can talk about which ones are my favorite. The first one with the crabs and skulls, an absolute favorite of mine. I regularly think of Saturday Night Freezer, like on a regular basis. I still think that's so funny. This one is very nice. A lot of these got a nice little treatment with mother of pearl luster to give them a rainbow iridescent shine, and it definitely made the whole series take longer, but it was absolutely worth it. Like the rainbow on top of that, lovely. This guy haunts me to this day. So many people when the series came out were obsessed with this guy. I think he is nightmare fuel, and I stand by that. I'm pretty sure I repeated the Santa dinosaurs on more than one occasion for the actual holiday season. I definitely made one of these for a auction at one point, which was pretty cool. In hindsight, I feel like I could have done better on this one. I probably could have done better. I definitely could now. I've gotten a lot better with my like painting skills when it comes to underlays. But it's still pretty cool. I like the idea overall. This, to this day, is one of my favorites. I think this was so pretty. I loved the shape. I loved the color combinations altogether. I'm always and forever going to be a lover of skulls and florals together. It's just good. This is a mug where I look at it and I'm like, yep, that was for a randomly generated series because boy, oh boy, I hated this. And to this day, I hate this. I think it's bad. But someone bought it and they loved it and I think they gave it to their mom. This one is so creepy and cool and I love it. Still so cool and gross. I'm always here for like the creepy, weird, gory things. I think they're fantastic. They're not for everyone, and I respect that, but they're absolutely for me. This one is pretty cool. I like it a lot. I liked the idea. I've always liked the idea of picture frames being portals, and I like that it was twisting in and out of those, and I'm very happy with how this one turned out. It's pretty cool, for sure, for sure. This one has very few photos. I don't know why. The Instagram photos turned black after a certain point, so you get very few and none of them close up. Sorry about it. I love this guy. I completely forgot that I made this. This design is so stinking cute, and I think I need to remake one for myself because it's so cute and colorful, and octopuses are my favorite animal, and so I feel like I just need one for myself now. I feel like I need to make one of these for my mom. I hate gnomes. My mom loves gnomes, and she probably wanted this one, and I didn't let her snipe it from the shop before the shop went live. Look at these goofy little weirdos. Look at these goofy little weirdos. I love them so much. To this day, I love them so much. I should do this for like an actual holiday update at some point. It's so cute. So dumb. I don't know. I'm just not excited about this one. To this day, I'm not excited about this one. It's fine. It feels very festive, summery kind of vibes, but you know, it is what it is. Love this. Again, nature and skulls together. Like, yes, florals, obviously, but the ferns and the mushrooms with the skulls, it's all very nice, and I like it a lot. No complaints. This is good. This is good. I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't watch any of the videos in this edit leading up to this point, so I don't remember any of the commentary that I had in place. How I got all these elements together, I don't remember, but I'm not mad about it. I love the portal chickens. It's so silly. It's also kind of like subtle, which is really nice. Like, you might not notice it until you really start to look at it, and then you're like, those are chickens. Those are chicken heads. This is nice. It's like not my favorite thing in the world. It's very loud with the red and the yellow together, but I don't think it's bad. I still don't mind this at all. This is a good one. I love moths and butterflies in general. I think they're very nice. Moths more so than butterflies for the most part. And this is just good. Also, I love this shape. I need to do this shape more often. This is something. That is something special right there. Ooh. That one right there. Bigfoot with ice cream. Simple, to the point. I was going to say simple, elegant to the point, but this isn't elegant. Let's be very honest. It's not. I'm not necessarily an elegant person, and I don't necessarily make elegant art. I had mixed feelings about this one. I think I mentioned it in the actual video of how kind of like rough the paint job turned out, but I'm not mad at it overall. I think it's cute. think I was very into this when I made it. And 2.5 years or so later, eh. This one is cool, though. I do think the shape is a little bottom heavy of the mug, but, like, that's fine. It's not a big deal. It's just a me thing, really. I'm nitpicking. That particular one with the face in the moon, the snake face in the moon, is very nice. This, I think, is my favorite from this particular series. I'm very satisfied with how this one turned out. Specifically the handle. The handle is so good. Look at that. Top tier. Good stuff. This is fine. I try to use the elements in different ways if they come up. Like the mushrooms and the skulls came up earlier in this series, and I try to do them differently each time. This is my second least favorite from this series. Not a fan of what I did here, but that's okay. They can't all be winners. If anyone is searching for a reason why the randomly generated mugs for Series 3 are taking so long to finish, you can blame all of the mugs that I haven't posted the finished product of, because I wanted them to have mother of pearl luster to add that extra rainbow iridescent shine. That took a stupidly long time for me to get finished for a number of reasons, but that's not what we're getting into. What we are getting into right now is talking about how pretty this mug is, because it turned out so pretty. And of course, getting the shine to properly show up on video is so difficult, but luckily in this lighting you can kind of see it actually pretty well. I'm not mad at that. But yeah, look at this. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it so much. These last two, you get a voiceover from me again, because I am fairly certain if I tried to post these with the particular audios that I chose to show them off with, I would get copyright strikes pretty quickly, because this one had a song by the Beatles, Octopus's Garden, specifically, if you must know, because I thought it was fitting. Anyway, there's that mother of pearl on the luster again. I love mother of pearl over black. Anyway, this one, ignore the text at the top, of course. This one I had a David Bowie song playing, because of course I would. Why wouldn't it? Because he's a star man waiting in the sky. Anyway, again, that mother of pearl over black, stunning. Little Christmas astronauts are it's so goofy. I forgot about this one completely. I like it.